Hello everybody, it's Raven, and I am here with OfficerNotACop. He assures me he's not a cop or wearing a wire, but we will see. Anyway, we're here and checking out his ship, so tell me all about it, man.
Well, this ship is basically a support class. I have a couple of missiles on it, and I was heavily inspired by this one picture I found on Google, believe it or not. And all I did was just search up spaceship, scroll down, and find a picture, which I pretty much got the front end where it kind of, it like spreads out, gets fatter at the front, and the tower at the top with the sides. And I unintentionally made a kind of like lava flow, but it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got some nice stuff to it already.
Yeah, and the back of it and the front of it as well are definitely not finished, but I kind of had a revelation with the shape of the engines that I kind of wanted, like the curvature and all that.
Yeah, and those are tricky to do the right way.
Yeah, and then pipeline on the top, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's got,
I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it, and the only things that really jump out at me that could really help bring this to the next level is you have two, like, all right, so your pipeline and everything that's raised above, you know, what I'll call the shell, the main shell of the ship, right? So that's good, because what it does is, not only does it, you know, give more depth to the way that the ship looks, but on top of that, it adds shadows and things like that. And part of the trick with detailing is playing with shadows. So what I'd almost like to say is, up at the front here, if you can see where my core is, I'd love to see that sort of thing over here. Maybe a couple of lines right where I'm at. Admit that if you've ever seen the Arturius, I'm almost saying something like that. And if you check out that video, you'll know what I mean. I'll send you a link later if you get interested. But just a little bit of something right here that's raised, just to break up, because this is, you know, it's kind of a straight line, and I know you have, it looks like turret docks right here, which is a good idea. Having, you know, point defense turrets right there where, you know, you're in a way weakest, right? Not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe moving them out one block and allowing for some raised stuff. I don't know how it would be best put together, but, you know, go frickin' nuts. But I think that just this area needs to not be quite as flat. Because as soon as that happens, you add that same depth. Because I'm looking over here, right? And you've got that, again, you know, you got raised parts and you've got lower parts and things like that. Definitely keep going there. And at the back you do too. And so you don't have an excuse because you know how to do it. So, you know, just go for it, man. You know, like, one of the things I'm just looking right here is this line right here where it's gray, and regular hull where there's the hardened in the middle. Extend this line out just a little bit. You know, vary up, you know, keep this exactly the same. Extend this out and make them a couple little rails. And you could even have them like a framework out here and doing a little like cage around your turret area. Could be kind of cool, just to almost like it's protective. Yeah. So I think that would. I was
thinking maybe I could. Sorry.
No, go ahead, man.
I was thinking maybe I could have like a pipeline to the turrets as well.
That would work really well.
The pipelines on the back are supposed to symbolize that they're fueling the engines,
right?
Or cooling them. If I wanted to make a blue, but red looks cool.
Right. Well, you could almost do maybe like a purple one, and then make the gun shoot purple bullets or lasers, and it would look like that's feeding it the energy to do whatever the hell it's doing.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to grab build mode really quick from right here, and let's check out... let's check out the interior.
The entrances are on the sides of the flat part that you were criticizing.
Yeah, well, you know. Those... well, it's well marked, I'll give you that. It's pretty hard to miss the white. Alright, so... oh, and I like the lines. As soon as I walk in, you know where you're going. That's a plus.
Yeah, I pretty much labeled it even though there's really only one way to go. The blue just goes straight to the core room, which
Right.
is also blue.
Right, and then you've got another color there that shows, hey, go this way for,
The
I'm
bridge.
assuming the bridge, yeah. Alright, you got a little storage
Spiral
area
staircase.
down there and a spiral staircase, very nice. Yeah, I normally, if I ever build a spiral staircase, I actually have to basically make a giant nerd pole and then build it around that, because if I don't, I get very, very confused very, very quickly, unfortunately.
Yeah, you see where the cockpit that's at the top of the staircase, that there used to be a pole that went straight down. I just
Yep.
deleted that.
Exactly, and it works though. You know, it gives you that guide. It's like if you're ever drawing and you need, you know, little guidelines and stuff that you erase later. It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm
I
thinking.
have like some servers and computers in the back, but I don't have
Yeah.
any shares, and of course
Well,
it's still a work in progress.
Let's see. How much space do you have? I don't know. Do you only have one block of space behind the computers, or do you have two?
I have.
It looks
Well,
like
actually,
that's
I don't
just
have any.
yeah,
Yeah.
bugger. Because I was almost thinking you could, well, you could still do it if you took the sides where you have the lights on either side, bring that part out by one block, right? So then it looks like the computers are actually properly inset into the wall, and that could just add a little bit more of that. It's all about the levels, you know, the different levels of in the visual field that you give people. The more of that you give them, the more they're going to sit there and go, oh my god, that's amazing! And that's what you're aiming for, right? You want somebody to walk over, see your ship, and watch their jaw hit the ground. Which is hilarious, by the way. I've seen it happen many, many times with Delmon. It happens to me many, many times with Delmon. He does this to me on a regular basis. And, you know, and so, I mean, I may not be the best builder in the world or anything like that, but I've learned a lot from watching him, so I'm just trying to pass on the stuff that he tells me to you guys. And it's usually a lot better when he's around because he can do it himself, and then y'all actually will sit there and go, oh, he actually knows what he's talking about, not that stupid Raven guy. Anyway, the other thing is your main hallway where you have the entrance, right?
Yeah.
It might not be a bad idea. I told Enterprise something similar to this, because you have the great colors already. Well, black and blue. But
Yeah.
you know, you have that color differentiation horizontally, basically. You may want to do just replace, you know, on every like sixth block, so that there's 5 white blocks and then 1 black. That go as like almost like a what was the word? Blast door, or framing, so that it looks like that's actually like holding everything in, and that could really bring that up too, because that breaks up the lines that you have there, because you want to have lines, but you want to have enough breaks in them that they're not obviously lines. It's all about tricking people's brains and their eyes, which is fun, especially when you're screwing with their brains. Other than that, I mean, you've got a really good bit of potential here. Now, you said that obviously the back end isn't done, and the front
I
end,
shaped out
yeah.
where I want the engines to be, but I'll do like insets and stuff poking out and everything.
Yeah. I think that your engines call for one thing, and you're going to hear this a lot no matter how many reviews you watch of mine, or when I have Delmont or Saber, or if you just watch Saber's reviews, or if you just watch it doesn't matter. If you watch any reviews, you're going to hear these words. Wingy bits.
Like how the sides of the engines kind of stick out, and then
Yeah. Just make
into
little
blue.
wingy bits that stick out a little bit further. And it ends up just sort of bringing everything together. And actually on yours, I'd almost say your engines are okay for the most part, maybe a little bit, you know, very, very small one. But I almost want to say if you go center of your front end, right? Towards the very back where it starts to connect up to that center portion that you have, just a little one, little wingy bit sticking out there would look
I mean, where it's
really
all
cool.
flat.
Well, all right, so where it goes flat, where you have your entranceway and where it starts connecting into your essentially cannon, right? at the front end.
Yeah.
Right where it starts widening out, just where it starts widening out, have a little wingy bit sticking out right there. And I bet you that'll end up looking really nice, because that also helps to break up those lines. But it has a lot of potential. I really like this one.
Because I put those dotted lines on the side that kind of break up the blackness, and also some hardened hull to kind of put some structure in it.
Yeah.
And then you might have noticed that on the bottom there's a pattern of the red lights and the gray hull.
Yeah.
One of them is actually messed up.
That happens. The only thing I can think is, well, I can think lots of things, or so they tell me. One thing you may want to try is if you grab a wedge with your normal black hull on those gray black lines, if you grab a wedge on the, because there's the middle one, right, out of the three, have that be a normal hull block that's sticking out one more block down, at least on the bottom. I don't know about the top. The top you'd want to do your tubing. But
like spikes?
Well, just like little nubs that stick out, because what that does is that puts the area around the light in shadow and makes that light really shine through there really, really well. It makes it pop, if you will. I hate using that term. I really, really do. But that's exactly what it does. And it took me a long time to figure that out. I literally had Delmont beating me over the head with a hammer repeatedly, telling me to do things like that, and I finally managed to get it through my head, and I still screw it up from time to time. But things like that can actually kind of, I mean, it'll make it look more structural too, you know, as if it was like, as if, you know, that was holding everything there on. I'm actually gesturing with my hands right now. You can't see it. It's not helping you, but I'm doing it anyway. Damn it. Anyway.
If I watch the video, do you think you might like edit it to help me?
Yeah.
To explain or help viewers?
Well, yeah, you'll see exactly where I'm talking. So if it was like a wedge right here and a wedge right here facing towards the center, and then a regular hull block right there, and then when you look at this, it'll be raised that side and that side. Yeah, you'll see it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, those little things like that end up just pushing everything out a little bit. And because when you look at a ship, right, you have a really nice clean hull. You know, I mean, there's not a whole bunch of sharp, jagged angles, so your eye can flow. You may want to see if you can, because the front end ends rather abruptly, but you said that wasn't quite done yet, so you know, definitely let that come off and be maybe a little bit jagged, but not blunt, because you have this vicious looking little thing going on, and as long as it's not
front end.
Yeah, the front end. If you look at it side on, right? If you look at the whole ship side on, right? Maybe from about, well, so that you're looking at it close to where the front end is, but you're on the side. You'll see it has this nice clean line where it goes down and then it kind of bulges up again, and then it just kind of, it looks like somebody chopped off the front end right now. So just make sure that, you know, when you do that, maybe what you do is the top part of that front end, right? Extend that out further than the bottom part is, so that it creates like a little curve sort of thing.
Yeah, I see.
And that can make that look really, really nice. The back end, I think, is fine. I think what you want there is going to be a few little wingy bits, and that will break up the line for you. Because the back end is going to be blunt-ish. But you've got a really cool design back there. Hashtag needs a little bit more wedges. But that's the hashtag that we always use. If we see one thing that's not wedged, you're going to hear that. And it's nothing against anybody. But that's the purpose of it.
All the white blocks on the back are just to tell me where I want the engines to be.
Yeah. Okay, I see how you're doing it then. That's going to be pretty cool. If you do like, if you have it like a cowling and have those sticking out.
Yeah, that's what I was pretty much.
That'll look nice. That'll look really nice.
And about the blue on the side of the engines, I don't really know what I was doing with it. I was pretty much trying to light up this inset, like this part where you can't really see much if there's no light, so I just lit it up.
Well, one of the things that you could do, instead of doing the blue there, that center line that you have, right? You see where the gray goes down, where you have the hardened hull and then the gray? If you just tore out just that one block high area, you know, and all the way down, and turned that all into lighting that's broken up a little bit, that'll light everything for you, and it'll give you a nice continuous line. It's a thought. Play with it. Of course, everything that I say is suggestions, and it's really just because I really want to see this thing turn out really, really nice. Because it's already turning out really, really nice, but I want to see it turn out nicer. I want it to be amazing. That's the way that I have to say that word. It's just like Delmont saying spaceship, and then he builds one in 40 seconds. Because I've seen him build a spaceship, a really nice one, in less than 20 minutes, and it was not a small spaceship. It was depressing. And now Skylord can do it with a capital ship in 20 minutes. It's just messed up.
I was also thinking on the sides, before actually when the engines start like forming and
flaring out
wider.
I
was thinking about making like intakes, even though it's a spaceship.
Well, I do that on mine all the time, and you just say it's intaking space dust, or it's intaking meta. It's usually the you know.
Oh, who is this? Roars.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, anyway. You could do some intakes there, and then that, I mean, well, actually, why didn't I think of that? If you actually didn't do the center line on the sides, right? On the sides where you were talking about the blue crystal?
Yeah.
And you did blue crystal 2, so that center line is fine, but the block right above and below, that's what you got rid of. And you make those look like heat vents.
So making them like they're blue or red?
Blue or red, either one. I think blue would be a nice change of pace from the red, but at the same time, that's one you're gonna have to play with. That's really a hard one until you have the engines on there to know exactly what color that it needs to be. But I'm thinking, you know, maybe some heat vents where, you know, that's where it's helping to vent some of the heat that your engines are created.
Yeah.
You know, so it doesn't melt your ship, which is usually a good thing, or so I've been told. Having melted ship parts all over is usually not a good thing, I guess. I don't know. I don't mind it.
Yeah. And then I also have to put some like metal grill on the side of like everywhere, real like in spots where I can just kind of imagine that it would break up the monotony.
Yeah, I actually usually like metal grill on interiors more than exteriors, but if you can find a spot, it looks really good on vents.
Yeah.
It looks good on piping to an extent. I mean, I like your piping the way you have it, but maybe the ones on the sides of your bridge could use something. I don't know. That's a tough one. It could use maybe
the lava looking
stuff.
the
lava looking stuff. I was almost thinking if you have something that looks like it's clasping at all the glass on, that might help, just because it's really nice. I really like it. Maybe having that there will take it up a notch. Like LCL. No, I'm not even gonna go there. And I will not say BAM. Damn it. Just said BAM. Anyway. Yeah, so I really like it. I'm looking forward to seeing where this one goes.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there are weapons on it if you want to test it out. Or if you want to
give it a shot really quick. I don't know, they haven't been appearing for me for some ships, so it may not work. So go ahead and give it a shot and tell me when you're shooting.
I'm gonna shoot my AMCs right now.
Oh yeah, I can see them. Alright. Nice
those
little
are
weapon
explosive, so I put them in with an orange color.
That makes sense.
This is a lock-on missile. It's just one.
Well, a lot of times you only need one.
And then just regular missiles.
Very nice.
And a radar jammer.
Always a good thing to have.
Yep.
Alright. Nice little ship. I think we got a few others to get to, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch that out.
Yep.
And
thanks for doing the review.
Definitely. Thanks for being here, and thanks everybody for watching. And as always, we will see you again next time.